Hi everyone and welcome to my YouTube channel. So this is a daffodils painting which I painted for a full tutorial on my Patreon. So each daffodil took around 1 hour and some took lesser than 1 hour also. So each daffodil is available as a separate part on my Patreon to make the watching and painting experience better. So you can paint it one flower at a time and it's a really nice composition, and I also talk a bit about composition in the tutorial on Patreon because I combined two photos in this. So I think it is a really nice tutorial if you want to paint a bunch of flowers or a bunch of white flowers, and we talk about the main flower and how we balance the left and right of the composition, etc. in the tutorial on Patreon. You can check out in the link in the description, link to my Patreon membership. And in this short video I'll show you some of the snippets of some of the flowers, not all. I'll show you some snippets all in real time of some of the flowers in this daffodils composition, and I think it's a really nice one to just combine a nice variety of daffodils together. And I really like the peach one and the yellow one. So let's start. So starting with the first one, I mapped in the grays wet on dry first. Now to make the painting the grays around easier as we continue, just mapped in some of the orange also. After that, I built up the colors to get the contrast and realism. With daffodils, we have to be careful to build up in layers so that we don't want to make the petals look thick and muddy. Daffodils have light petals and they are papery. So I covered that in the full tutorial on Patreon, how to get the papery and translucent look of the daffodils petals easily to get a more realistic painting of a daffodil or of many daffodils in this tutorial. And painted the stems also, each stem for each flower, wet on dry. Now here are some snippets of the peach daffodil. I really like this one. The colors, especially in this one, and how we get that soft translucent peachy center of the daffodil. And an important part with painting daffodils is erasing the pencil lines after the initial layers, because we don't want dark pencil lines outlining our light papery flowers. In the part in which we paint this daffodil, I also talk about the colors in the photo and colors in real life. How in one it looks orangey and in one it looks peachy, and how to mix both, I show that also. And I went with the peach for my painting because in real life this daffodil has a really nice peachy center. This is a double daffodil. So we paint some double daffodils also in this tutorial. They are not as tough as they look. We simplify the process, one petal at a time. Next is the yellow double daffodil. So I divided this one into two parts on my Patreon for a better viewing experience and painting experience. So this looks tough because it's a double orange daffodil, but it is not as tough to paint as it looks. Takes a bit of time, but it's not as tough because there are many petals. Of course, it will take a bit of time. I simplify the process into steps and make it easier. To get the contrast of the darker orange petals with the yellowish lighter petals, it's also important to build up the orangish petals. Daffodil stems have lines, so we also add some lines wet on dry as we build up. With this yellow daffodil, you also have to make sure that it remains yellowish and light and papery. Does not turn dark and muddy. So that's why I think it's a really nice flower to practice painting yellow flowers, papery yellow flowers with many petals. Now coming to the next one, which was the last one in the full tutorial, which is a yellow and white double daffodil. And it has a really nice side view in the composition. So we are painting the side view. And our aim with these double daffodils is to paint a slightly fluffy and papery daffodil with translucent petals. Make sure that it looks fluffy, light and papery, not dark and overworked or muddy. So I cover how to do this step by step in the full tutorial in my Patreon membership, which you can check out via the link in the description and the link in my YouTube channel also. And with that, our painting is complete. So I think this is a really nice composition of daffodils, and I painted it in steps and took breaks in between the flowers. Of course, we don't paint this whole composition in one go. So I hope you like this, and if you have any questions, you can ask in the comments. What I like about this is that with the centers of the daffodils with different colors, and with the translucent petals which we have built up, the white daffodils don't look like they're fading into the background. They stand up nicely next to the big yellow fluffy daffodil, double daffodil. And if you want, you can also paint the background darker to get a nice contrast of the background, dark background with the lighter flowers. But I didn't paint it dark. Either way, it will look nice, up to you. So I'll see you in the next video. Bye and take care. And thank you for watching.